Kia ora everyone, and welcome to JK Extra Abra. It is another episode today, and today I'm going to review Beast Games Season 2, okay? I wanted to do a review of Season 1, never got around to doing it, so I thought, might as well do a review of Season 2. Now, I watched all 10 episodes, I watched them kind of as they came out, and I'm just going to speak honestly about it. And let me just say, I'm not the biggest fan of this season, but I want to still give my thoughts and opinions and explain why I don't like this season instead of just sitting here and saying I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. I want to give at least a little bit of a reason why. Now, I don't want to review this episode by episode because to me, I don't know, I just didn't really feel like it, and going into every little minute detail to me wasn't my sort of thing, but I have instead tried to do it a little bit differently. So I've decided I'm going to split this into 5 different categories: the host, the games, the twists, overall enjoyment, and the theme. Not in that order, I said that the wrong way around. I think it's host, theme, games, twists, and overall enjoyment, and then I'm going to give a out of 10 rating at the end of this. So, without further ado, let's get into it, and let's start with the host, Jimmy himself. Jimmy is the weakest part of this show, and it's not even close. And I'm going to throw in all of the extra, what do we even call them? Boys. Jimmy is annoying. He ruins a lot of the tension and kind of sucks in every single episode. I just think he doesn't understand how to make a reality show intense, because in almost every single episode, he's kind of taking the tension out of it or blowing things out of proportion. He's not letting it naturally build up or just adding those correct elements when we need them. He's kind of just screaming everything, which can get really, really annoying in certain episodes. I also just think it's weird because a lot of this, it still doesn't feel... It feels just like stuff he's doing. I feel like he feels like God in this show as well, which is kind of weird. And I feel like I don't know what he wants from the show as well, because his character is weird. It's like he wants them to win a bunch of money, but then he also doesn't want them to win a bunch of money, and he's trying to sell this coin because I don't want to lose 5 million. Like, it's really weird that we have a lot of this personal, and like we get a lot of just personal stuff, which from like a reality show is not something I'm wanting too much. If I wanted to know personal stuff about Jimmy, I would watch his YouTube channel. That's the point of a YouTube channel, to have more of those personal moments. But I don't need those in a reality show. I'm here for the games, and I just feel like we get a lot of Jimmy in the wrong ways. Like, I just don't think he's adding. And then also just the other hosts, they don't do a lot. And when they do, I feel like they do take a lot of attention, or they explain the obvious. And I'm like, show us, don't tell us. And I feel like they do a lot of telling us. So, this person's going to say this, but then he's also said this. Like, we've seen that. You don't need to re-explain what's already happened. And it just kind of kills a lot of enjoyment out of the show. So I just feel like it's very weakly hosted, and it's just definitely a part of the show I didn't too much enjoy. So yeah. Also, by the way, spoilers alert for the season. So if you've not seen it, go watch it. Or don't watch it if you don't want to. I don't care, I'm not your mum. Yeah, let's anyway move on to the theme. Yes, strong, be smart. It's a very cookie cutter theme. Like, it's not original at all. Like, we've seen Brains Be Born in like every single show. Every show has done it. Everything, we've all seen this before. And again, like, it just doesn't feel like there's not a lot of creativity. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But like, when we come up with like even episode themes, like the Survivor theme episode, I'll talk a little bit about. There just doesn't feel like a lot of creativity. There's nothing creative. Like, they had the hearts, which was a big thing, right? I don't know who came up with that idea. It's just kind of weird. It does fit with the show, the heartbreaking thing. But I don't like that it's called Heartbreak. Like, it should be like Life Lost or something. Like, I feel like Heartbreak feels very like dating show based. But yeah, again, Strong v Smart, it just also sounds really weird in a lot of ways. And I also just think that like they didn't lean into it enough. And it feels very strong heavy. It doesn't feel like it's a Brain Reborn game. It feels like if you are a brain, you are kind of screwed and you are getting targeted by the Brawn. Like, there was not a lot of brain-based challenges, and when they were these really lame stuff. So like the theme falls flat overall because they don't lean into it hard enough as a show. And I just think that's the biggest misstep when you have this Strong v Smart, that you have to kind of lean into that fully. And you can do that, but we don't. Like, we have some challenges that are very brains and brawn, but when they are very brains and brawn, it is because it's spoon-fed to be a brains and brawn situation. It's not in every challenge. There's so many challenges that are just entirely brawn-based that it just, like, the theme gets lost. Like, you kind of forget the fact that Strong v Smart past episode, I would say 4. Like, past the first 4 episodes, it feels like it matters, and then it slowly matters less and less and less and less and less. So yeah, I just think the theme was very weak. It was an idea that they had, but really, yeah, and it made it so we had 200 contestants, which I think 100 would have been better. But yeah. Overall, the theme, not great. It wasn't horrible though. Like, I didn't hate the theme. I didn't think it got away with anything. I just think that they didn't do much with the theme, and I wish they would have done more with the theme, because it is an interesting theme, and a lot of shows have gone into it and like leaned into it heavy and hard, and I think they could have done that. It's just a missed opportunity, and that's really all I can say. But moving on next to the games, which are better, I will say, than Season 1. And I think this is where Season 1 obviously improves. The games and just how the show was edited, how the show edits these games was a lot better than Season 1. So we've got, like, Episode 1. I will say, though, the games are better because there was just more of them. Like, there's less bribes, which is good. However, they're still not the strongest. Like, these games should be carrying the show in each episode, and they don't really do that. Like, we're not seeing anything creative from the games that they have to face. It's a lot of stuff we've seen before. Building blocks and color memory matching. Like, we've seen that 400 million times. We've all done that. We all know that. An obstacle course. It's not revolutionary. We've seen it before. Like, again, there's just not a lot of unique things we are getting with these games. It just feels like every single challenge that we were seeing was the same. And again, they all leaned really heavily into that brawn side over the brain side, which sucks. It just felt very unfair, a lot of these challenges. The obstacle course, that was an entirely brawn-based challenge. There was no brains involved in that. But it's in there. But there was not like a whole brain episode that fit them. Like, it didn't feel very even, and that's why we lost so many of the brains contestants. I think that's why we had a brawn win, because they were able to shatter so many of them through all of these stupid brawn-based challenges. And, you know, and some of them are interesting. You know, like the Survivor challenges were good because they're just Survivor challenges. But yeah, but like from the actual games themselves, there just wasn't too many good ones. I'm trying to think of them, and now my mind is blanked. I'm trying to... Let me go look through my notes. We had episode 6 is probably the strongest in terms of games. We had a nice, strong sub games. But then not a lot. You know? We just get a lot of... We don't actually get a lot of games. Like, I feel like they just do less stuff. I don't know. It's not great. There were some highlights, but I was never bored during them, so at least they were interesting. They had some stuff going on. Yeah. So I'll give you that as some credit. But still, just, I wish more could have been done. More could have been done, and I feel like just with a lot of the challenges, I was just wanting more. Something more, something cooler, something more unique, and not what we got. Which is, I don't know, kind of just unfortunate, but yeah. So then, moving on to episode number 4, or the next thing, the twists. Okay, this is when things start to fall apart. Now, episode 1 has no twists, pretty much, in my opinion. It's very straightforward. Then episode 2 is when the wheels start to fall off the cart. The returnee twist is genuinely the dumbest thing ever. And they really overplay it as these are the greatest people in Beast Games. Like, we've only had one season. Like, stop bringing them back. Let that season happen. Build another season. Build upon it and build upon it so you have a world. Don't just bring 1,400 people back. If you're going to bring people for season 2 like we did, don't overplay them. Like, and that's the thing. It's just I kind of hated how big and epic. And they brought back the winner. The winner. The person that won the bloody $10 million was brought back for the next... Like, it just... It's a shitty twist. It's a shitty one. And a lot of other twists are like the captain's bribe and the boxer's game and things like that. Yeah, but there's not a lot of twists that shake up the game. And when they are, they're very minor. Like... I probably should have talked about this in the game section, but I will. But the final 4 episodes really sucked. Like, episodes 7 to 10. Where was the intrigue in that? Like, the twists, because I feel like they fit into twists, but they might be. We might go back to games. I think we can... Let's go to games quickly. Episode 7 to 10 is like, so uninteresting. There was nothing different about it besides being buried alive. And being buried alive was genuinely the stupidest thing about why they buried alive. It was stupid. It was dumb. But then we have, like, the taking money thing again, which is just kind of boring. And then the whole episode 9. Episode 9 is the worst. Overall, episode 9 was the worst episode. It was just chaotic, over the top, stupid, hard to follow, and kind of annoying. And they, like, were throwing weird twists into episode 9 of being like, you can't talk on the phones, and now you have to talk in like this, and leave your cages and do it, and in front of everyone. And it's just like, why? Why? It's stupid. It's just kind of, like, nothing. Like, there's just not a lot of... That was the thing with the twist. Like, there was no twist. There were some I liked. I think, genuinely, the 10 million coin at the Survivor, I think that was a really, really strong twist, allowing it to be a bargaining chip that they could play and actually put in the game and not just be a stupid, thing. Or, like, 2 people that win get to eliminate 3 people. Like, there are some stuff that was good and were, like, genuinely good choices. And I could say, like, actually, hey, that was a good choice. But overall, there's not a lot of good twists. A lot of things that are, like, twists are just things we've done before, So, like, it was either a bad twist or it was, got no creativity. So that's my kind of overall thoughts on the twists. And finally, my overall enjoyment it was, not bad. Like, I didn't get not too many episodes, really. I think every episode besides 2 and 9 were fine. I think in terms of really standout episodes, episode 4 is a really standout, which is the Survivor episode. That's why I've got the Survivor photo up. But episode 4 is a real standout. I think episode 1 was pretty decent. Episode 10 did a little bit there, but I would say 4 is definitely the best. I think 2 and 9 really were bad. I think 8 was also quite bad and very slow paced. And even 7, 8, and 9 was just a really, really rough stretch of episodes that I just would never recommend and go back and watch probably again. It's just a lot of nothing, and they're long episodes. Like, they're all over an hour long. And yeah, I just genuinely was fine watching the show. Like, I never watched the show and had fun. I wasn't laughing. I also didn't connect with the characters that much, the people that we had, the players. I just feel like everyone was so yeah, and I feel like the storytelling is better than season 1, but like still very like mediocre. Like I just don't care too much about these people. I just find them to be very average. There's like, yeah, okay, there's Monica, and the August and whatnot, and Monica and whatever his name is that are together. See, I'm forgetting them. There was like the Jack story at the end, which was quite nice, and I liked that. But overall, not much to enjoy, not much to be gripped by, and go, yes, this is an interesting, compelling story. I think obviously the Brainiacs in the finale I actually really like Hannah and Meryl or whatever their name was. It's Hannah and one other I forgot. So it's been a while since I've watched this show. I watched like the last episode I watched was the finale, like right as it came out, and that was like a while ago. That would have been 17 days ago, so it's been a little bit. So that's probably why my memory is not amazing. Sorry, a bit bumbly today. Just overall, I did really enjoy episode 4. I think episode 4, going back to the hosting, really shows how bad of a host Jimmy is when you can just see Jeff Probst and he stays in the game and he's very into it and intense and picking the right things, where Jimmy just feels like he's sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing the whole time? And he even gets like quoted by Jeff Probst, like, you don't actually have to yell, like it's annoying and stupid, stop yelling. Like, you just see that, and those were some fun moments, and I did have some fun. So I'm not going to say it was a terrible, boring thing, but I was just saying it was really lifeless at times, and I was just like, there's a thing going on, and it's still just a bit slow. Like, I just don't think that each episode is filled with enough to warrant them being an hour. They feel like episodes that could be 40 minutes long, and it would be snappy and punchy where they're an hour. And some episodes, like episodes 1 and 2, feel like they are filled with a lot of things, and 3 and 4 was kind of filled like that. But especially episodes 7, 8, and 9 just feel like they last forever. So yeah. But we've come to the rating. What do I rate Beast Games Season 2 out of 10? Since I'm like, this is a very mediocre season, it's a very mediocre... it's a 5 out of 10 for me. It's not bad. I think if we would like to put it with the Traitors seasons, I think I would probably put it above Australia and US. Probably just above like some of the Australia and US seasons, but not much higher. But even then, probably not above all of them. Probably maybe just below Season 3 of Traitors US is probably roughly where I put it. I'm actually going to update my ranking for Traitors seasons soon, so more on that later. But yeah, a 5 out of 10. It's mediocre. It's just not very creative. There's nothing creative going on. Like, I just wasn't seeing anything new, and that's all I have to give it, is a 5 out of 10. Now, I'm going to compare it to what I would have rated Season 1, even though I didn't. I think Season 1 gets a 4. It probably actually could be lower. I feel like I could put it a 3 for Season 1. I just don't think Season 1 was very good. It's even slower paced, and just, the storytelling is very weird. I might change that right now. Let's actually change it. I'm going to put it as a 3. Yeah, we're going to make it a 3 out of 10 for Season 1. So Season 2 is an improvement over Season 1. But it's not a great improvement, and I just think that the show has a lot to do to get itself to a great point. But I don't think it will ever get to that point, because I feel like stuff that I would want the show to be, Mr. Beast is not going to do. But that comes to the end. As you can see, our thing has now gone from being grey to the nice colour. Overall, Beast Games is average, Season 2. Would I recommend it? Probably not. I've only watched it. It's better than some things, obviously, out there, but I just think it's not something I would go out and worth to watch. I feel like even if you're a reality show fan, watch it. If you're not, I would 100% not recommend Season 2 at all. Or Season 1, or either season of Beast Games. I just don't think it's great. If you like to see money, if you like Mr. Beast, then you might like the show. You'll probably like the show. It's just maybe not for me. But that is going to end this video of me reviewing Beast Games Season 2. All that's left to say is thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. Farewell.